to Marilyn Hawes, who's been spending the week in the big smoke, and she's been tooted at by bus drivers. Now, yes, that is true, isn't it?
It is absolutely true.
They
People,
lean through the window and they start booing, but they're still tooting before they boo.
people in pubs knocking on the windows saying, "Hi, Marilyn." It's only because Mike Graham, the Mike Graham show on YouTube, I was doing Plonk of the Week on stage. But I've also done his shows, been on them, I suppose, about 4 times now, and Plank of the Week. I don't know how people recognize people, I really don't. But I was being chased down the street. I thought, what? What? Selfies, selfies, as you say, bus drivers tooting,
Well, there you
people
go.
in bars thumping on windows and coming out going, "Hi, can I have a selfie?" Oh, God, it's just bizarre. So totally surreal. But I have now sobered up. I mean, honestly, I think they're trying to kill me, Rodney, because you had the booze in the green room. Then we had the very short version of Plonk of the Week on stage. And we only all got 3 hours sleep because there was an after party. Yeah. And then the next morning, up again. And there we are, drinking wine for Plonk of the Week at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh my goodness me!
God,
Yeah,
I think I need a liver transplant.
yeah. Well, I thought you had three already. You can only have three, you know.
But it was good fun. It was a really good fun, and meeting such lovely people who, have got great senses of humour. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
If
With all
you're
that's
any,
going on in the world, it was lovely to have
yes,
humour.
if you're anywhere near Britain, you need a sense of humour. Otherwise, that's it. You're dead. You're dead.
Yes.
But there we go. We'll give it. We've got a sense of humour sometimes, but we're going to start with the truth, and that is the election. Well, everybody knew, and it happened. Nigel's wagging his tail, which is a good thing, maybe. But I'll tell you what's coming out of it, and it's dreadful if you analyse it. Me and my power before country. Need I say more? That's Sir Keir. There's nobody in his position throughout the world that would maintain that position
No,
when
no,
the
no.
whole world is against him.
Absolutely. No, no, no one with a grain of common sense. I mean, honestly, no one would. And how do you actually hold your head up high and not how he faces the camera? But he has sort of shoved off to Checkers, hasn't he? He's gone hidden up there. But I just wonder, and maybe it's as a conspiracy theory, I don't know. I just wonder who are the hidden faces behind this that need him to stay, that insist that he stays. Is it a conspiracy
But I
theory?
don't know. I tell you one that I do know that he insists he stays, and that's Nigel. Because let's be honest, Nigel has done miracles, but he's not far enough yet with enough MPs to have a
No,
real go.
no.
And he actually even hinted yesterday and said, well, I don't want him to go.
Well, I don't know if you heard. No, where she? Oh, she was on Mike Graham's show on Monday, I think it was. I think we might have mentioned it then, where she. I mean, I got so much respect for Anne Widdecombe. I really have. I think she's as straight as a die. There's nothing corrupt about her at all. Very sensible woman. And she was saying, in a way, be careful what you wish for. If he
Well,
goes,
I've been musing this morning and I've been thinking, well, let's say he did go. Who you left with? Well, Andy Burnham, but that is
no.
really overrated. As a Mancunian, I know that. That's all I can say.
But there's
The
no.
rest of them are shambles.
They are, but he can't do anything now, can he? Because there's no seats. There's nothing left in Manchester. He can't do it.
And he'd be very careful which seat you choose because the way Nigel's going like a steam train, nothing's safe.
No, 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 no.
What I was musing about was, let's say Kemi left the scene for whatever reason. There's a dozen people I can think of in the Conservative Party with with gravitas
Exactly right.
and with half a brain that could step in. But who do you
Absolutely.
get from the Labour side?
There's no one there there's no one there with business experience, no one there who's been an MP before, there's no one there. And, I totally agree with you. I mean, whether you like Tories or not, they do have people there that have been in government that do know that it's not a bowl of cherries, that do know how you have to graft. I, I, I think it's going to be very interesting watching, as long as he doesn't. But I don't know. I just have this. No human being would be able to stay and stick it out like he is. And I'm
No.
thinking, is he just so obsessed with power, or is it that and the hidden faces behind the scene, the blob, whatever, that is like saying, no, you're staying, you're
Or is
staying.
he not human?
Well, he's not human in my. I mean, I just think he's just well, he's a tool. His dad was a tool maker, so he's told us so many times. But it was very interesting yesterday. I found it astonishing because Angela Rayner's got a problem, hasn't she, as well? Because I did read
Not
that
settled.
no, no, because was it she'd about 12 different councils and where she is that have gone over to.
Tameside, that's right.
That's right. But also I didn't know this before until I read it the other day, that she had used her son's disability allowance towards the deposit on the house that she was getting that she had to then not get.
So everybody have more
So,
children. They come in useful
but
sometimes.
that she shouldn't be doing that, should she? In the role she's in, you don't use your child's disability allowance. I mean, it's just dreadful, absolutely dreadful. But yeah, I mean, I was pleased to see that the Greens didn't do as well. But
No,
oh my golly,
I
have you?
think the last week has culled them a little bit because the truth about the wonderful Zach. And when you start dancing as a homosexual, let's be
I
honest,
know, I know.
with a lady of similar proclivities on stage with people gyrating from
Awful. It was
LGBT.
awful.
I mean, what do you expect? That's going to be a prime minister. Sorry, end of
Unbelievable.
story.
And they were all, and some of them had sort of fishnet stockings on, didn't they? It was absolutely awful. But have you seen the mayor of, where is it? There's a green one has become a mayor, a green one.
Yes, that's right, in the
With a
Midlands.
stupid red fringe that she's got. She looks like she's come out of CBeebies children's program. Honestly, I mean,
Bizarre.
they are a bunch of weirdos. And
Well,
also, they have hijacked the Green Party, really, haven't they? Because the Green
yes.
Party was always about the environment, hence it was called the Green Party. So, where are the people, the original founders? Because they have been completely hijacked. I mean, they are really another form of Islam, aren't they, in a way? Because,
Well, they depend in a lot of areas on the Muslim vote. And it
yeah,
was fascinating to see the victory session at the end of a particular poll was all in Urdu.
I know. Awful, isn't it? Absolutely dreadful. But it is like re Kemi. It's going to be, I know they're all having a go at her, but they would, wouldn't they? But there's still a lot of mileage to go yet because she could, and I really get to grips now that this has happened, and she can really, if she plays her cards right and does Prime Minister's questions in a good way, she could get come the general election, whenever that may be. You don't know what could happen. You
Well,
just don't know.
the figures at the moment on the doors, on the boards, um, have got Nigel down. I think it's about 284. If that is repeated, might get worse, might get better.
Mm.
Tories about 100, which means that they will have to do a deal with
Yes.
Kemi, but on condition that Nigel is PM.
Yes, 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 yes. But
So
with
that
that, I
is
see
how,
that yeah, because otherwise you could have a hung parliament, and you don't want that. I mean, I just wonder though if people, what I wonder is if people thought that was going to happen, would they vote for reform? Because they would then see reform as a quasi-Tory party, wouldn't they?
mm. It's fascinating. Let's see how it
Oh, it
works
is.
out. Let's see
Oh,
when Sir Keir decides to off ski.
I mean, what a time to be studying politics at uni.
No, that's the same. It'll just be left wing bilge coming
Of
out.
course,
It's
of
uni.
course. Absolutely, it will. Yeah. But yes, I have to say, yes, very, very. And did you see that one? Now, where was it? Was it in Kent or Sussex? Or the person won by one vote? One vote. I wonder how many times they had to do a recount. I
Yes.
mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything that close, ever.
No, no. Oh, there you go.
But
Well,
I've never lived through a time like this ever. I don't think any of us have.
it's not like a general election when there are myriads of votes potentially. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got to move on to more serious subjects. I'm saying serious. Recently, as part of the New York UN bit, the World Press Photo of the Year. Now, everybody's invited to send in pictures of, well, pictures speak a thousand words, don't they? To see which has appeared in the various newspapers throughout the world. And there were 50,000, no, 57,000 entries. And guess what won?
Oh, God.
I
God.
will quote it. Harrowing image of children clinging to detained father was named World Press Photo of the Year. Now, this actually was in New York when obviously he, being an illegal immigrant, was arrested in front of his two children. Regrettable, but I'm sorry. That again is just politics.
Mm,
I'm sure there are many, many other more
mm,
harrowing or
mm,
more revealing or just good photographs rather than that one.
mm,
But
mm.
these people get in everywhere as influencers. Hate
Yes.
the word.
I can't stand the word. I quite agree with you. I cannot bear the word. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. No, I think, there was referring back to changing the subject a bit, going off at a tangent, but um, going back to the evening on Wednesday, there was a veteran, knowing that veterans obviously are treated very badly in the UK, and who would want to join the army or any of the forces if you're then going to be the wonderful Lord Hermer, is then going to sort you out and get you prosecuted. It's ridiculous. But he stood up and he'd been in Afghanistan. He set up this charity called WeSurvived.com, and hearing his account of what was what. And he said to me afterwards, he said, how do you unsee a mum with a little toddler gripping the mother's arm as that child watches her be executed?
Yeah.
And, he said, it still haunts me.
Yes, it will.
It still haunts me. I said, well, you can't unsee what you've seen.
No, no.
The ugliness of war and strife is dreadful.
Yes, it is indeed. More of that shortly. But having said that, let's move on to Keep Fit. More figures out recently on Keep Fit. There is a great difference apparently between boys' gyms and girls' gyms,
Oh, right.
what they get out of it. But one thing is sure for both boys and girls, it can be very addictive. It's a
Oh, yes,
drug.
it is.
And
It
once you get
is.
on that treadmill or whatever is your particular penchant, then you go for it. You have to beat your PB. If you don't beat your personal best,
Right.
then there's
That's
something
right.
wrong. You go out and your shoulders sink, and oh, what can I do? But it is a drug. You've got to
It is. I've seen it in my own family. I've seen it with my own daughter. She would absolutely totally deny it. But when I went over to Bermuda this time, I said, "You've lost too much weight." And she, oh, don't talk to me about weight. And I said, well, you have. There's shape left to you, And she's the same. She does tennis, she does golf, she does the gym, she does kickboxing, she does weights. I went, why? And I've seen it where she almost gets twitchy if she's not going to go for a run. And that is, I mean, and I know because I have, this is a very strange comparison, but I used to, when I was getting divorced, I was a music teacher. I had a beautiful piano, which he took away from me, but it was a Steinway. And I would play 3 or 4 hours in the evening, just play it out of me and, try and calm down and relax and all of that. The kids used to send down notes, Mum, can you play this? And if I went on holiday, I could feel it in my fingers. I could feel it like twitching. They wanted to play. They wanted to play. I could feel it. It was a very strange experience. But it
Yeah,
does, you're right. It is a drug.
it's an obsession
It is
basically.
an obsession. It is an obsession. And when you know, the women are shapeless. I mean, it's just, you see a lot of it in Bermuda.
Plank
Of,
of the
a
week.
lot of posh mummies, and it, yeah, it's like anything else, isn't it? In moderation.
Yes, somebody once described medically what goes on with enzymes and hormones and
Yes.
whatever. And there is a scientific proof of all this. You've got to be careful and don't wear things out.
Mm.
Because if you look at the top sportsmen, they don't get beyond 45, most of them, without the arthritis getting the knees or wherever that particular sport gets you.
I don't like the smell of gyms. It's sweaty and,
They've got their
boring.
own pub smell, haven't they?
It is. Yes, it does. It smells. It reminds me of when I was a schoolgirl, and the changing rooms smell of like plimsolls. Do you remember plimsolls? We used to have plimsolls, not trainers. They were called plimsolls, and it stank. And I just don't like the smell of gyms at all. So if you want to go out and also mental health, I was talking to some people at this event on Wednesday night, and I was talking about, if people got out in the fresh air. If people got off their chairs, got off their screens, and walked in the sunshine, in the fresh air, run around the field, whatever, that is so good physically,
It
but
is,
also for your mental health.
and there is a big difference between a brisk walk and a slow
Absolutely.
walk.
Yeah.
The trick is to alternate things. Some people say 10 minutes brisk, 10 minutes ordinary. But
Yeah.
that's all right, whatever is your thing.
I don't do any of it. I just walk. No, I walk the dog. I walk the dog, and I do that, or I just go for a walk. And there was this. I told you this guy about 3 months ago. I was listening to on Five Live, and he did a thing about how the brain, if you have. You've got your executive brain, which is what we're doing now, and then you've got your creative brain. And if you just sit in a park or in a quiet field, whatever, or go for a walk, get outside on your own, even for 10 minutes, and try not to think of anything, your creative brain literally improves by 50%. That's massive.
It is. And talking about improving and talking about joint pain, a lot of people suffer from that arthritis,
Especially here in
osteoarthritis.
England.
Lots of people suffer. And the trick is, according to the physiotherapists, is that if you've got bad knees, bad shoulder, bad hip, whatever, then don't be tempted to sit down.
Yeah,
Sitting kills, and it'll make the joint worse. Now, I
it
know,
does. It
you know,
absolutely does. I
and
agree.
then you question them in a bit more detail. Well, hang on, should I walk through this? And the answer invariably is yes, if it's ordinary pain and not too bad. If it's a very sharp pain, you stop
Mm,
immediately.
mm. That's,
So I'm
yeah,
sorry, it's not comfortable, but actually it gets endorphins going, gets all sorts of
no, well,
things,
that's right. It's the
and
endorphins.
your
That's, yeah,
joint will be better and you will feel less
yeah.
pain by putting up with it for a short time.
Yes, and it does. Yeah, it's the endorphins. That's the word I was trying to find in my brain. I couldn't think of it. But that is true. If I sit, so I fell over, as you know, and I dislocated my shoulder, and at the same time, I pulled all the ligaments just on the inside of my knee, and this was like now 18 months. 20 months ago, I still can't get it right. But if I sit, as you rightly say, for too long, it is painful to get up.
Yeah.
But in the morning, I mean, I live off painkillers. In the morning when I walk the dog, it might start off badly, but then I do kind of walk through it,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's not that, as you say, that searing pain that is almost like trapped nerve pain, isn't it? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But
No, no,
sometimes,
you can do damage basically. That's
yeah, I mean, sometimes I can feel. I mean, I often when I'm sitting down like I am now, I am stretching out my leg so that,
Yes.
I do
Don't
that.
stay still. That's the
Yeah,
trick.
that's right. And I do it when I'm on a plane. That's why I like to sit in the aisle seat. I do it then and I wiggle my ankles around. I don't like sitting by the window because I know how sitting for 7 hours on a plane is going to absolutely,
Yeah.
kill me. So I don't, I learned something. I learned something that I never knew, which is not really muscles, sort of in a way, but it's voice exercises, right? Now, at this event on Wednesday night I don't know if you've heard of her, Carol Decker.
Yeah.
Right. So she was part of the show, right? And she'd been on tour all around England. And I said, I was a music and singing teacher. That's a real strain on your throat. And she said, yeah. And I said, as is alcohol. She said, that's right. And she said, but what I do, and it's really interesting for anyone who just enjoys singing or whatever, it's called straw exercises. So you buy, well, there's like metal straws. I had them when I had to take some revolting gunk for an exploratory test. And bleh, horrible. And of course, the thin straws, it doesn't go up, it collapses it. So I bought these metal straws off Amazon. And she said, you get a glass of water, about a third full, and you blow bubbles. You just blow bubbles and maybe hum at the same time, and blow, but you won't believe the difference it makes to your throat.
Oh,
And there's videos of it on YouTube. And she showed me. I went, good grief. And she said, yeah, it's the best voice exercise you can do.
oh, there you
Is it?
go.
I mean, I do it every morning, every night. And then the girl that works in our local pub, she was trained as a professional singer. And I was telling her the other night, and she said, that's true. It's true. I do it every day. I do it. Who
There you
knew? I
go.
was a music teacher and no one ever knew. I never heard that.
No, tip of the week. We're going to give you another tip of the week, of the year, of the century. Time to ban ID cards. Now,
Oh,
of course, most people in Britain don't want them. Can I say I agree 100% because
mhm.
boy, have we got them in Europe and especially here in Spain.
Yeah.
You are completely controlled
Yes.
at whatever
Of
level
course.
you want or don't want.
Of
You're
course.
controlled how much you can take out of an ATM machine. And as we've mentioned before, don't take anything out before you see your friendly bank manager and say, how much before the authorities are interested. And it can be anything between €500 here and 2,000. After that, it's almost certain that the tax office will be advised. And your number, which you have to put in there, is all codified. And this is control, folks. More seriously, if you're dealing with any civil servant, if you don't get the right number at the right time, you often get a catch-22 situation where either your number's been lost in the big computer space or you're applying for a certain thing too early and you're blocked. Everything you do is blocked. Yesterday, I put the wrong PIN number as an
Oh, it's a
example.
nightmare.
Absolutely. Just once. That's all it needs in Spain with Banco Santander,
Good
our
grief.
favourite bank. Now, usually most banks give you three
Yeah,
chances,
there's normally the
some
third one, isn't
five,
it?
because it's very easy to put you,
Oh, it's
especially
ever, if you've got
when you're in
fat
the
fingers.
butchers and they put it on the top shelf and
Yeah.
you
And
guess
people have got fat fingers and it covers the wrong number.
exactly. So it's a nightmare and they're controlling us. And you can't do anything here. There's many
No.
other things that trip you up. You can't employ somebody because their number is not the right number. Now they're talking about the wallet system, whereby on your ID card, you've got your driving license, you've got your social security number, you've got tons of things on there that you have to be compatible between every single one, or you don't get the service, which is your right. Wait in the queue. We can't see you now in AE because it doesn't conform with what we've got in our computer. It is a nightmare. Folks,
It is.
we experience this. Don't be tempted by these tragic politicians saying, oh, it's okay. What have you got to be frightened of?
Plenty, plenty. I mean,
Absolutely right.
and also I think again, the elderly people that, won't necessarily have an iPhone or they won't have a laptop and, or there's just so many things that it just so wrong. But whilst we're talking about banks and money, here's another little tip that came out. So some years ago, not me, the other half, decided to put £50 into a Bitcoin. Now, I told him not to, right? I told him not to. My son's friend is in stocks and shares, and he said, well, however, it's probably dodgy, be careful. So a few years, in fact, I suppose about 15 years have gone by. And then he was contacted about 4 months ago to say, oh, this is going up, going up. I said, we found your number. No, it was something like 20 years. That's right. And now whatever was what. And this guy was phoning every day saying you could see it moving, go online, you can see it moving. It's now worth £2,500, blah, blah, blah. And then trying to get it out. Right, because I said, I'll tell you, I don't believe this for a second. I think it's a scam, and of course they wanted us to put more money in. Not doing that. Well, he put another 30 in, so that's 80 that we had given over all this time, and they went, "Oh yes, that's got you over the 1,000 now," and blah blah blah. Anyway, I said, "Look, just kill it, Rog. It is truly, it's a scam." So we get a phone call yesterday from a law firm, kosher law firm, and said this particular, I can't remember what Bitcoin company it was. So many people have actually complained about them that they have had to sort of close down, etc., etc. But we are phoning people that are on that database who were scammed to say you are now entitled to the money it should have been plus damages.
No.
I can't remember the name of the law firm, but if you look it up, anyone that's been caught in this, and we said, well, we'd only put 80 quid in. He said, not the point. It's not the point. You were scammed, and these people are going to have to cough.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted on it.
There you go. Light at the end of the tunnel. Well, I'll tell you what, there's been light at the end of the tunnel in Washington. And Donald Trump signed another deal, this time about marijuana.
Oh,
No, yes, I mean, it's been classified as an A drug as opposed to a B or a C.
well, it is an A because of what it does to your
Well,
brain.
it is, but there's a trap here because it also included health marijuana use, which is
Yes,
an extract from the drug,
that's
and
right.
which is perfectly safe and is very good for certain
Yes,
painful
yeah,
conditions,
it is.
as an example. But because of, again, bureaucracy, lovely word, isn't it? Affects us all. They put it in the A category with cocaine, heroin, and all the rest of the baddies, fentanyl. They've decided now we'll go down to C. But I repeat, don't be excited. We've got a little bit of this further on in the show. Cannabis, as you quite rightly say, is a killer,
Mm.
and we've got some evidence to show that. But before we go on to that, right, another study from the US, and they have found and it's a big study, if you have got a positive outlook on life, in other words, you're a cheery person as opposed to depressive, you are going to live, wait for it, 7.5 years longer. Now, it's a serious, with lots of people in. It also says you've got to do the usual, like good exercise, good diet, good physical well-being and mental ability, which again, fast walking, even slow walking certainly helps. All those with a good diet. So uh, that's a known thing. On top of that, if you're a cheery walker, a cheery dieter, then you're going to live 7.5 years. That's not bad, is it?
Well, it depends what life's like by then, isn't it? I mean, I don't want to be a cheery person stuck in a care home, like, bodily fluids coming out of everywhere. I'd
Well,
rather,
what's the alternative, I say?
well, quite frankly, sometimes I envy people in their latter part of their life that just drop down dead. I really, who wants to be in a care? You've been in a care home, you know what it was like when you were recovering.
Horrendous.
That's exactly. So I don't want horrendous. I just think it's terrible for family and people that love you and all of that. But I just think, what a lovely way to go. What a lovely way to go. But I mean, but also I am someone who, as you well know, who likes to laugh, likes to make people laugh and all of that. And I think so much of healthy living is to laugh. And there was someone who did a therapy. Oh, well, this must be someone about 10 years ago I met who did therapy, laughing therapy, that it is really good for you because it does, it is good for you.
Good
I
exercise,
love a
it
laugh.
is. It's
You
true.
do feel so much better after having a laugh. You really do. And boy,
Right. I'll shoot you, woman, and I'll laugh at the same time. There you go. Yes.
I meant naturally go, not like that.
Which leads us on to Matt Goodwin, Daredevil.
Oh, right.
Well, dear old Matt has had a book, Suicide of a Nation. Now, beware, everybody. This is how much control you're under. You don't think you're controlled in the freedom of the
It,
United Kingdom.
it's
Uh,
subliminal, isn't it?
Get it. Suicide of a Nation, where we're going to finish up pretty quickly, the way we're going, he says. Sunday Times bestseller. That's great. It is. It's a big achievement. But the publishing industry um, is got him. The BBC has got him. They're giving him no airtime, even though he's number one. Even Main Street booksellers are part of the blob
I
who
thought Matt
control.
Goodwin was GB News.
Matt has a show on GB News once a week. That's true. He's also professor at a university.
Yes.
He's probably the only right-wing professor at a uni in the whole of Britain. But he does speak a lot of sense. And this is who is getting at you folks the whole time. Well, we know about the BBC, don't we? But even book companies, the Waterstones of this world, will not stop the book. Or you go in there, we've just run out of it. Oh, we'll try and get you one copy. It is, but despite that, he was top of the pops for 2 weeks overall in the industry and a month with the Sunday Times. It is a cracking book.
Really, have you read it?
Get it online. I've read bits of it, some relevant sections that I wanted information on. And it really is top, top, top. Number one book, but beware of the blob, the controllers of Britain. They don't want you to see it.
That's
What is the difference
terrible,
between
isn't
that and
it?
China? Come on.
That is, well, it is. We are Marxists. I don't care what anyone says. You've got a Marxist state here. There's no doubt about it.
Let's cheer you up now.
But that is dreadful. I mean, suicide. Well, I must get that. I'm going to write that one down.
Yes,
I have seen it on. Where did I see it somewhere? Advertised by him.
on the
And
GB News.
is it depressing though? I feel depressed enough with everything. Is it depressing?
No, it's just factual about where we are as a nation and what
Mm.
the way out is. Well, there you go.
Is there a way out? Does he end it with a way out?
Well, yeah, you can, get to 60 and we'll shoot you. Uh, that's the Marxist philosophy. Euthanasia. Oh, you're not needed anymore. You're not.
Exactly.
Bang, you're off.
Exactly.
Hitherto called the Liverpool pathway, but we won't go down that one.
That's another conversation.
Literally. Right, it gets worse. 1 in 5 councils in the disunited Kingdom have put bans on offensive language, shouting in public, swearing in a move that campaigners threaten, of course, is against freedom of speech. But they've got this PSPO thing, Public Spaces Protection Order that was introduced for other reasons years ago. And councils have decided that the following, you'll love this, £1,000, by the way, for any offence under this law. Picking up litter, was that 250? Anyway, this is 1,000. The study found that councils were criminalising everyday behaviour, such as standing in groups. They can arrest you for standing in groups. Yes, it's true. Secondly,
But,
you like this one, especially you, foraging for blueberries
oh no.
and blackberries.
Oh, you're
No,
joking.
I'm not. They can have you for it.
Why?
Gets worse because they don't want it. You're going to do damage to the hedgerow, or
Oh,
you
that's
might damage yourself if
utter
too many cars drive past.
rubbish.
I know. Feeding the birds.
No.
What? Picking up stones. Picking up stones. So if you're on Brighton Beach, don't try and build a
What
castle out of stones.
sorry, tell me again. Where's this all come from? Is it all part of the same
Well,
bill?
PSPO protection orders, and they want, as a local council, guess what? Will these be right-wing councils or left-wing? I leave you to disseminate that. It
So
gets worse.
when did this come out? When was it?
Oh, it's years ago, that Act of
Oh, right.
Parliament, but the last 12 months they've been on, well, 20% of councils, 1 in 5, have decided to make our lives better and control us more. Gets worse. Canterbury Council has erected signs barring shouting in the open countryside because you're going to disturb people. Some of them probably need disturbing. Burnley has introduced a curfew for under 16s at 11 o'clock in
What?
the, yes, night, and under 14s at 9 o'clock. In other words, they have taken over from parenting. It's worse than China.
Oh, God, it's dreadful. But have you finished? Because I'll tell you something that you might have
Oh,
missed. Go on. No, is your list going on? Carry on with your list.
no, no, no,
Right,
that's
right.
enough.
Have you seen in Wales that now there's a thing that's come out that if any children in nursery schools, 2-year-olds, are heard to say anything that could be anti-Semitic, the police have got to be told.
Yes,
2-year-olds?
that's on the list. Uh,
Right, okay.
but no, you're right. We'll deal with it now. It's true. From 3-year-old upwards, you will be castigated severely by anybody in authority. Oh, what we said about that Jewish girl in the
I mean,
corner.
it is total, but that's in Wales. That's in your
Well,
neck of the woods.
but you're bound to get it in these societies.
But
Thank
it
you,
is.
Tony Blair, for causing all this.
It all goes back to him, without
Yes.
a doubt. And I never trusted David Cameron either. I didn't like him. I thought he
Well,
was too
you've
slick.
got to be, I'm trying not to be insulting. Second rate politicians and people that know how to live your life better than you do
Yeah, yeah,
in power in
yeah.
the Principality of Wales and in the Kingdom of Scotland. And it's like giving them any power, anybody any power.
But it's ridiculous. I mean, it is absolutely absurd. How many times does a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, they don't even know what they're saying? It's
No, of course you
ridiculous.
don't.
But let me ask you this as well, because something I wanted. I don't know. I was following the election, but I didn't catch up with all of it on Wales. But who got the most votes in the end? Was it Clyde Cymru or was it
Plaid Cymru
Right,
got the most votes in
right.
Wales, but
So
just Reform did a lot better. Labour were absolutely jumped on big time.
in
And don't
Wales,
forget, Labour been in power for decades,
yes,
centuries
over
even.
100 years, wasn't it? They
That's
had,
right.
which just
And
but does that
well,
mean? Sorry, does
no,
that?
I'll tell you what it means. A, if anybody's more extreme than the Greens, it's Plaid Cymru.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, they've got the same agenda, the same manifesto, except it's actually worse. Let me tell you, I had a phone call from a businessman yesterday morning, and his territory is North Wales. He has to get round. You can't anymore because you've got 20 mile an hour on dual carriageways everywhere.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
It gets better. It's now on the approach to villages, 12 miles an hour. You cannot do your rounds. Now, this is Wales, and nobody is coming there. And we
No.
should know because we have businesses there. Why should they to pay 3 and 4 times council tax? Why should they to get rained on? That's not the fault of the Welsh government. That's the only thing that isn't. But you're bombarded with the Welsh language often,
Oh, yes.
which is positively dangerous when you're driving above the said 20 mile an hour on a big motorway well, I say a motorway, the A55, it's as good as a motorway. And you've got this great big sign that's all in Welsh. And by the time you've hit the cow on the road, because you've got a little bit of English at the bottom and you can't read, bang, it's a disaster from top to bottom, Wales is. You've got people there living near the border of Wales to England. Fortunately, if they get something wrong with them, they're over the border to England to the NHS there because the NHS in Wales doesn't function. Special measures in many, many hospitals in Wales, and they have to go for their operation to England. This is what happens when you give power to people who are not capable of running a bath tap. Translate that to Mr. Starmer, Sir Keir, and you've got Labour personified, and that is in Wales. Wales is a disaster.
So I was thinking, oh, that would be good. I don't know. I'm not, as you know, I'm not a real politician. Like if you had somebody who was on a political journalist or something. But I was thinking, oh, is that a good thing for Wales or not? I don't know because it was neck and neck, wasn't it? I mean, even Nigel
No,
Farage
because
was.
what will happen, Plaid will have to do a deal with another left-wing party. There are several, and then you'll have a double whammy, and it'd be worse for everybody.
So what I never understand about the United Kingdom is so Wales will make up their own policies and their own laws, will they, or what?
It has changed gradually. Devolution has
I,
got
I was going to say,
worse,
so yeah, that's the
and
word I was
they
going to
have
say.
control over about 80% of the laws, and they've got what they deserve, I'm afraid.
And is that the same in Scotland?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So,
And who
you
got in
get
there? Was it the SNP? Did they get in or was it Reform?
yeah, SNP. Nigel made some inroads, but not sufficiently.
And what about Labour?
Well, they were suffering as well.
Because I don't know what it was, whether it was Anglesey or something. I saw on the left of Scotland there was,
No, that's the Wales, Anglesey, Northwest Wales.
oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. Oh, I don't know what it would have been. Would it have been the Isle of Skye, maybe? I'm not sure.
Am I speaking to an American? Your geography is shocking, madam.
No, no, no. It's no. I'm just trying to think. You have to understand. I've been in recovery for 2 days. I mean, it's off the Scottish coast, and there's a long sort of bit there, and it was all red, all
Well,
red.
Mull of Kintyre. I mean,
Oh,
West
yeah, that's
Scotland.
it.
Yeah, that's not an island actually, but no, where there
No,
was.
but it must. Would it have been? Would it have been the Isle of Skye? Maybe
The
it was.
west of Scotland. We were
Yeah, yeah, west
involved
of Scotland.
actually with somebody wanted to become an MP. This is many years ago, and the western Scotland is a unique place. There's more Christians there to the square meter than anywhere else in the
Really?
country. Yes, and so they vote with that as a bedrock, which is no bad thing. But they translate it to the mainstream parties because if anybody's a Christian standing as a Christian, it's a sort of death wish. With sadly, with many Christian parties, and there are a few,
Oh,
and
interesting.
it's a shame. But that's the way we behave. Quite
Interesting.
different from America, where most of the people that vote Republican are Christian. Some Democrats as well, but religion in Britain accept Islam is very much looked down upon. I'll be in trouble for that, won't I?
Well, talking about, America and Trump, referring back to Wednesday night, there was a guy there, so you got Donald MacLeod, who I think is a presenter in Scottish News and all that. You might know of him. But his brother, Lewis MacLeod, is like almost a stand-up comedian, really, and a very good mimic. And he came on stage, he looked exactly like Donald Trump. And he got all the intonations, the mannerisms, it was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. It was just extraordinary.
I know I've seen some very good.
The video
He's,
will be out tomorrow night.
yes, he's so easy to impersonate, actually.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
yeah. But he's also this Lewis has got the same sort of stocky build. You know what
yes,
I mean? He
yes.
he had everything. He had a wig on and everything, and it was just incredible. Very, very funny.
Let's give you some good news. Nationwide Building Society. They're very left wing and socialist, but
Oh, I bank with them. Had to change
there you
that.
go. They can do something
I
right.
used to work for them.
My goodness me. Oh, well, that's when they were communists. No, they weren't behaving so. They've done something very good because they've teamed up with a company called PayPoint, and it's expanded their fast closing branches by 3,000. You can bank with PayPoint under the banner of Nationwide Building Society throughout the United Kingdom, I think from next week. And you can pay up to £300 and I think withdraw every day of the week.
Wow.
So pay in, take out. So there's your village bank. That'll be good, won't it?
Yeah, well, we haven't got all we've got in our village now is a hub. So Wednesdays is Santander, Mondays is Barclays, Tuesdays is Lloyd's.
It sounds good, but does it work?
People complain all the time that they have to be waiting 2 hours to see somebody. I don't think so. I mean, we've got it is just with all the house building that's going on around here. They closed one of the post offices down in what was Flitwick, a small town, and it's now like literally a counter inside a sweet shop. I mean, it's ridiculous. You have to go 10, 15 miles to go to a bank or a post office around here now.
Well, there you are. So we've got to end. My goodness me, time flies. But I've got a question, young lady. And when I said to you, go and get a fruit salad, as an example, what comes into your mind?
Fruit salad, it comes into my mind. It would be you got oranges, pineapple, grapes, kiwi fruit. What else would be apples? Definitely not bananas because they go all soggy and horrid.
Yes, unless you put them in at the end. But you've got
Yeah,
to eat it that minute.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
No, you're right, absolutely. Well,
and peaches.
and peaches. Two things here. First of all, fruit salad. How about combining salad with fruit? And that's a proper fruit salad, if you think about it.
Yeah,
Try it. It's not as horrible as it sounds. So, what do you think about when you think salad? You think lettuces
yeah, cucumber,
and cucumbers. That
peppers,
might be a problem, cucumber. It's a bit strong. So let's put that on one
peppers.
side.
Couldn't have peppers then.
Peppers, yeah. So you can have kale. You can have
Oh,
spinach, young
oh,
baby spinach. Yeah, kale doesn't do a lot for me.
oh, golly,
It is
honestly,
very good for you. It
I know
really
it
is.
is, but it's like animal feed. Oh,
Yes,
it's
yes.
just, it's too strong and it's tough. I find it tough.
It is. It's tough. But I tell you what, on anything that we're going to say now in the next 2 minutes, if you can get organic, I know it costs twice as much, then it's better because a lot of the salad is treated by nasties and they're difficult to wash out.
Mm,
If you go to the supermarket and buy stuff for your fruit salad, the trick is to keep the lettuces, etc., even spinach, fresh because they sag and
Mm,
go awful very quickly.
mm.
A tip is to take them out of your bag and put them in a hard shell-like container with
Yes.
a sealed roof on it, and that stops the leaves getting bruised.
Yeah.
But before you put anything in, put a paper towel in because
Hmm.
that takes the dampness away.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the dampness that kills your salad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. If you're talking fruit, which fruit to get? Well, there's lots of things you can get. Obviously, you've got to be careful if you're going to eat it on the same day. Are you going to make a juice out of lemon juice? Don't put too many lemons in it. Well, that preferred, well, it makes it nice tasting, but it preserves the fruit from going brown quite
That's
often.
right. That's right.
But having said that, mixing it with some lettuce, try it. You might think it's awful, but honestly, if it's mixed with the right greens, it really enhances the flavour. But we feel sorry for you in the UK. By the time you get your strawberries, your
Oh,
apples, your peaches especially, they're nothing like the proper job because the supermarkets say we want them to look good and to be in good condition without bruising.
well, I bought some the other day. I mean, I know from my geography where all the what's grown where in certain counties, and Hampshire strawberries are lovely, as
Mm.
are Kent. And I got some beautiful ones in the supermarket the other day that were from Hampshire. Now that all those have gone, they were cleaned out. Now it's like Netherlands, and but I do think if you get, they were beautiful, beautiful strawberries.
Well,
I,
they're
I,
not,
I like strawberries. I like them. I like all fruit. But then the raspberries come out, and I think, oh, I love raspberries.
they're very good for you as well. And
Yeah,
strawberries are
any berry
very,
is, isn't it? Red berries, all berries are very good for your
yes.
blood. Yeah,
Well, the trick in this is that the farmers are told to produce the fruit under certain conditions. They have to pick it. Well, it's not fully formed. It's not fully matured from the tree because during the long journey, depend where it's coming from, Spain, Morocco,
yeah,
wherever,
yeah,
then it will ripen, but you will never get the ripening as it is on the tree when the sugars are maturing.
yeah,
That's what gives it the
yeah.
taste.
Yeah, well, it's like
And
anything, isn't it? Freshly, we've got Jersey potatoes in at the moment. They've just come in, which I think
oh,
are
that lovely.
lovely.
Yeah,
But they're now, I cannot believe the price. They're £3.70 for a little packet of them.
joking.
No, I'm not. But normally, I always buy the Jersey spuds when they first come in. I thought, I am not paying that.
No,
Absolutely
no,
not
no,
paying
no,
that.
no, no, no.
I mean, I suppose it's transport costs and all sorts.
Well, when we first came to Spain, I was pals with a local farmer, and we were going and talking about mandarinas and oranges and peaches. He had them all on the farm, and he picked a peach off the tree. I will never forget that taste forever.
Yeah, freshly picked.
It was so. It tasted more like a beautifully prepared grape. It
Yeah,
was that sweet.
yeah,
Nothing like I've ever tasted before.
yeah.
You're getting done, Great Britain. Sometimes, there's no substitute for growing it in your garden. Not
Oh, but
many
you can't.
places will grow a peach.
Where I live, there's a little sort of little corner where it's a gap between some sheds. There's a brick. I've got a little
It's
what do
sheltered.
you call it? I've got a bistro table and thing there, and these cottages I live in, they're over 100 years old. And the lady that came in first, she actually managed to grow a peach tree in this little alcove bit because the sun just traps there and it's away from all the wind, and the sun just comes out, and it's a great place. Lovely, lovely place. Which
Same
is where
with
I'm now going to go and sit.
very nice. The same with any fruit, but make sure it not only looks good, but it is good. And
Mm,
again, if you can get organic, you stand a better chance
mm, yeah.
of becoming bankrupt. We've got to go.
Okie dokie. Right then. Have a lovely weekend. And it's sunny here. It's very nice.
Oh, there you go.
Very nice. Have a nice time. Bye for now.
See you later.
Bye bye.